Hello there. My name is Megan. Welcome to my podcast, Little Fish Stitches. I am coming to you from Aberdeen, Washington. Today, sorry about all the ums. I cannot help myself. Today is November 28th. It happens to be my older brother's 40th birthday. I had to throw that in there. He's older by 23 months. So happy birthday, Eric. Not that you ever watch my podcast, but there you go. Yeah. Also, I am married. My husband, Brian, and I have been married for 17 and a half years. And we have two sons, James and Connor. James is 14 and Connor is 8. And sorry, texts are coming through on my phone while I'm trying to record. My mother-in-law wants to know what to get the boys for Christmas. Anyway, not that you guys needed to know that, but I wish I knew what to get them for Christmas. At least James, he's proving very hard to buy for this year. Yes. Focus. Well, if this is your first time watching my episode, welcome. Thank you for joining me. You will see a lot of scatterbrainedness on my podcast because I am not the most eloquent person. But anyway, thank you for being here. And if this is a second or third or 20-something-ish time watching my episode, thank you for sticking with me. Yes, I don't have any real administrative stuff other than my 100 subscriber giveaway for when I hit 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I will set up a Ravelry group and I will be doing a giveaway. So you have to be a member of the Ravelry group and a subscriber to YouTube in order to be a participant in that giveaway. And the plan is to give away one skein of yarn and one project bag, both made by me. And yeah, that's about it. You'll probably notice that things look a little less cluttered behind me. Last time I was able to do a podcast, which was 3 weeks ago now, I was looking at it as I'm editing, and I'm like, there's just too much stuff back there. So as much as I love my little TARDIS lights, I had to take them down, and most of the art that was behind me as well. I had 2 other things besides this little Harry Potter drawing, but I had to leave my little Harry Potter drawing because Connor drew it, and I think it's adorable, so it stayed put. Yeah. So, I moved a couple of my little decorations that were on my desk, which is right here, to over here. And you see my pile of yarn over here that if you've watched was it my last episode? Can't remember if it was my last episode or the one before where I talked about, Vogue Knitting Live. But anyway, that's my campsite cardigan in skein form. Yes. All right. So, I guess I should do finished objects. I have 4 to show you today. 3 knitting and 1 sewing. So I'm going to start with the most awkward one first. So, because they're just kind of laying here on this gigantic piece of foam board. Christmas stockings! Look at that. The Seahawks theme colored one is for my son James, and the one with the moose on it is for my husband. So, last year I made my youngest, Connor, a stocking, and I was like, well, we all need knitted stockings, so I was planning this year to make a whole bunch of, well, a whole bunch, the rest of the family, a knitted stocking, but I kept putting it off. I've been planning this since, I bought the patterns forever ago, and kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Well, it's time to whip them out because the decorations are going up this week. It's kind of a process. I've got the tree up and I've got some of my Christmas village up, but there's a lot of other things that I still need to set out that I haven't done yet and need to get around to. So anyway, so these stockings are from a booklet that I got from Annie's Woolens, like a pattern set. I think there's, I don't know, there was like 8 or 10 patterns in the book. And obviously I just needed 3. But anyway, so these are all from Annie's Woolens, and I got the ebook on Ravelry. And Jamie's, well, we call my son James Jamie. It is the one on this side. Is the one with the bear. Let me flip it around so you can see his design a little better. Oh, this is really awkward, but they're wet, and I don't really want to pick them up right now. So let's see if I can do this. There, you can see the bear pattern. They look a lot better on screen than they do in real life. I'm not sure I'm super happy with them. But anyway, especially the color work on this one is really loose right here. And I'm going to probably have to do some sort of repair work. But my plan is to line these with some gray knit fabric that I have left over from last year's Christmas pajamas for the guys. So I have a lot of it left. So I have plenty to line all 4 stockings with. So that will help with that situation. And I'm not going to weave in any ends because there's about 90 bazillion in each one. I'm like, I don't care. This is a once a year use thing. It's going to be lined so that nothing gets tangled in there. And these will be functional stockings. So I'm with this one for James. I use Cascade 220 for the gray and the lime green. And the navy is Donna, something or other. I got it at my local yarn shop, and I showed it, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes back. And then Brian's is the moose one, and his is, the gray is the same Cascade 220 from Jamie's, and the green is Malabrigo Rios in the lettuce color, and then this burgundy cranberry-ish red is Lion Brand Woolies, I think. Pretty sure that's what it is. So, that red was pulled from my stash. It was just something I had, and so was the Malabrigo. And then I specifically bought the gray for the stockings. At least these 2 stockings. Mine has a different color scheme. What I tried to do with these is, and I may reknit Connor's stocking before next Christmas. I'm not going to do it this Christmas. I'm done stocking knitting, even though I only just started my stocking last night. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to knit any more stockings, but I got to finish mine. Anyway, so I knit these in with the thought in mind that at least one color in each stocking was going to go to the next stocking. So mine has the same red as Brian's. Brian has the same gray as Jamie's. So next year, when I'm probably going to set aside some yarn when I finish these. Next year, I'm going to, or after Christmas sometime. Hopefully I will get to it before, a few weeks before Christmas. But I'd like to knit one for Connor out of the same book so that they're all the same style. And because I think his was a free one I found on Ravelry and went with it. So anyway, so I'm going to have to set aside some yarn that I can have for his stocking. So, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling an awful lot about these stockings. So anyway, yay, finished objects mostly. They need to be lined and have some straps sewn onto them. I'm just going to use ribbon. I didn't feel like I wanted to use knitted ones because I felt like they would stretch too much. And I feel like I'm probably going to do a little bit of a ribbon lining around the inside of the top to give it some strength. And with the lining on the inside, these should hold up pretty well, I think. So that is that. Those are the stockings. They are done-ish. Now let's see here. Out of the way. Out of the way. Out of the way. Close enough. You can see a little bit of the board, but I don't care at this point. And then, let's see here. So that was 2 finished objects. And then you probably, well, you haven't seen these because I haven't posted any pictures of these in their finished form. But I finished my Mercury socks. Dun, da, da, da. And these I knit out of my Christmas colorway, which is Leave a Peppermint Stick for Old Saint Nick. And I'm really glad I showed these on the podcast because now they can go back in my sock drawer because I wore them twice already and have washed them, but I finished them a couple of weeks ago. But I left them up here for the past week because I wanted to make sure they stayed nice and clean for the podcast. The toe and heel and cuff are knit in that baby pink silk wool blend that I got in my very first wool swap package, and I still cannot remember what it was, but it's from Australia or New Zealand. I can't remember which one right now. Anyway, pretty socks. I really like them. They'll be good in the spring. I've noticed that the lace pattern of the Mercury sock, which was super easy to memorize after about 2 repeats, and I was like, I don't even need to look at the chart anymore. And by the way, Mercury is a free pattern on Ravelry if you were not aware of it. I know I'm very late to the Mercury sock craze. I know there were a lot of podcasters talking about this quite a while ago, but I like them. I think they'll be a better spring sock, however, because they feel a little cool on my feet right now this time of year. And I did the Fish Lips Kiss Heel on these, and I just absolutely love how easy the Fish Lips Kiss Heel is and how well it fits my foot. So I will be sticking with that for quite a while. And my cuff is 20 rows of 1x1 rib. So that's what I like. And I believe I start my toe with, what is it? I think I do 12 stitches. 12, yeah, I'm pretty sure I start at 12 stitches. And I increase every other row or every other round until I get to 32 per needle. So 64 stitch stock. And I just, I did not follow the Mercury sock pattern other than using the lace chart. So I did my own thing for toes, heels, cuffs. So I'm very happy with them. They fit great. And then my final finished object, as I said, is a sewing finished object. So I kind of gave a little sneak peek on Instagram like a week and a half ago now. And I did a photo in black and white. But I like to make myself purses. When I cannot find a purse that makes me happy, functions the way I want it to, and is cute, I will make my own, because I have on and off for probably the last 8 to 10 years, maybe not quite that long, closer to 8 years, I've been making my own purses. And but I found copycatted a pattern basically of a commercially produced purse. Not completely. There's definitely some elements that I added in that were not theirs, and but I liked the basic structure of it. So what I did is this. And this is a crossbody style bag with a nice long strap that I put the clip on backwards when I put it on last time. I like to be able to unclip my purse so that I can attach things to my purse so I don't have to hang on to them with my hands. So I have my strap and it's adjustable. And then I've got this zip pouch in the front, which I don't use much. I don't generally throw my cell phone in there, although it's big enough for a cell phone. Right now it has these in it, which are little reward things for my son's orthodontist when he does well with his braces. That's all that's in there. And then I put magnetic, they're strong magnets, magnetic clasps to hold that front flap down. And underneath there is this pouch, which has junk in it. And a zipper pouch, which I keep my, all I keep in there is my phone charger in case I need it when I'm out and about. So that's all that's in there. And then, of course, there's the zip top. And I like to use the big coat zippers for these. So they're nice, big, sturdy zippers. And I'm going to just kind of flip this inside out so you can see a little bit better. So there. All my junk in my purse, but I've got a zipper pouch right here. I've got little pockets for various doodads here, and then it's nice and spacious for my wallet and my various little pouches. I like to keep my purse semi-organized by using all sorts of little random pouches. However, there's still lotion and lipstick. And what is this piece of paper? Oh, an appointment slip for my son's orthodontist. So that's my purse. It takes me probably, I don't know, 8 hours, 8 hours? I don't know, maybe not that long. 4 or 5 hours to make one of these. However, the amount of detail work that goes into these, I've had a couple of people ask me recently, oh, would you make me one? And I'm like, I would have to charge you $150 minimum. Because the amount of materials and the amount of time and detail work that goes into these is not minimal, for sure. So I love making them. I love making them for myself specifically. This one I used, the outer fabric, this black floral, is stretch corduroy, which was interesting to work with. But I liked it so much I was like, I'm going to use it. You can see how this zipper on the front is kind of wavy. It's because it wasn't terribly good with the stretchiness of it. But otherwise, so I love it. It's working for me. I loved this ribbon detail that I decided to put on. I found this olive green strap, and it was kind of boring. I'm like, well, I want it less boring, so I went looking through the ribbon section and found this gold feather ribbon. And so I just sewed that onto my strapping before I cut it down to whatever size I needed it for. And I cut my own bias binding to make my trim for the edges, and the lining is the same pink fabric. Obviously, you saw that. Anyway, so this is a lot of work. I make them for myself. I have made a few for my sister. I've made one of this style for my sister, but I've made other styles for her as well. And I think once or twice for a couple other family members only. I have never made these for anybody else because I feel like people don't want to pay $150 for a purse that's handmade and kind of looks like it. I mean, I feel like I'm getting much better at my purse making skills, but it still does have a little bit of a handmade look. And a lot of people these days, they want like the Coach purses or whatever. I'm like, they could pay clearance for Coach and get one of these, or they could get a Coach purse. You know, I don't know. People are weird about purses, but I'm weird about mine, obviously. But I like mine, so that's all there is to it. I like to make myself purses, and my younger sister has decided that she wants to learn to make her own. She kind of sort of sews here and there, but not very much. And So she wants me to teach her how to make her own. I'm like, that I can do. So at some point we will get around to doing that. So I feel like my hair is very flat right now, but that is just because I took a shower and did my hair and makeup and came up here. My hair is still wet. I don't usually blow dry my hair. It's very rare that I blow dry my hair, so it's wet and flat right now. Anyway, so that is all my finished objects. And now I am going to have a sip of coffee from my happy mug. Because coffee is good. Now, moving on to works in progress. Oh my gosh. I have so many. You guys, I have so many. And these are only the active works in progress that I have worked on within the past 3 weeks since my last podcast. And yeah. Some I didn't work on at all this past week because they sat up here. I have my chair that I sit on when I'm working at my personal work table, which is right here. Because I have my upstairs craft room space devoted to work, play work. So, because different machines, different things. Anyway, although my cutting table is work side, because I do a lot of cutting stuff for work. And I need a big open work table. Anyway, you guys have seen my craft room if you have watched the podcast for a regular amount of time. Anyway. Alright, so I'm trying to decide where to start. I'm going to start with my Sunset Highway sweater. I forgot to show this to you guys. Last podcast I said, I'm not going to show you the bag it's in because it's an acquisition. Well, it was an acquisition a month ago. Da-da-da-da. I got another That Crafty Little Fox bag, and it is so stinking cute. And it's the largest size I think that she carries. It's great sweater size. So now I have one of hers in each size. And it's got this really cute little yellow floral-y lining. So I gotta show you guys. I gotta show you. I did make a decent amount of progress. Okay, so here is my little TARDIS Progress Keeper. And I have made a good amount of progress. In fact, I am done with the yoke color work. And I have to go a couple inches in the main body color before I can move on to splitting for the sleeves. But I've made some progress on this. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. Hi! So, yeah. This is let's see here. Oops, losing the bag. So the deep blue color is Jorstad Creek, and the pale green color is I can't remember the colorway for the Jorstad Creek because why would I keep the label in the bag? I don't know where I said it. Anyway, I just know the brand is Jorstad Creek, which is a local to me indie dyer. And then the pale green, which looks more blue here, but it's actually water green, Malabrigo sock. And then this olive green is Vintage Pearls, which is one I got in a swap from my wool swap. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. So it's Vintage Pearls. I can't remember the name, but it is very something to do with fish. I don't understand why, because it's green. Well, I don't know, maybe. Anyway. And then this main body color is, did I leave it? Can't remember. I bought it at my local yarn shop. Oh, what is it? I don't know. Brain fart. Sorry. anyway, I feel like I'm doing good on my Sunset Highway, considering I have had so many other knits going on. I have not touched this in a week, and in fact, I'm going to move Mr. TARDIS here, or I should say Miss TARDIS here, because the TARDIS is a female, in case you didn't know that. I'm such a Doctor Who nerd. Anyway, I think it might be Plymouth Happy Feet, maybe, this yarn. Anyway, again, something about spices as far as the colorway goes. Can't remember the exact name. There you go. That is whip number 1 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 to go. 6 to go. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oy vey. Alright. So, most recent whip now. This is my Christmas stocking. And it is going to be the same basic idea as the ones that I showed you as finished objects. This is the same red Woolies, Lion Brand Woolies. Yes, that's what it is, Lion Brand Woolies. And then this is Malabrigo sock. Not sock, Malabrigo Rios. That's the right one. In the teal feather colorway. And then the white, which you can't see much of yet, other than that one stripe, is, you can't really see, well, there's like shimmery Stellina type stuff in it. It's also Lion Brand Woolies. So, anyway, that is mine, the start of mine. And I think the pattern that I chose for mine says peace on it, but I don't think I want mine to actually say peace on it. I'm going to do just a bunch of little hearts across where it says peace. Peace. Yeah, so I have to adjust the chart a little bit to work for me. And then, now these actually knit up. If I have a good amount of knitting time, I can knit one up in about 3 days. So, not too bad. I just need to bust my butt. So, okay. 2 whips down. 5 to go. Oh, and this is living in my mystery Christmas bag that I got from Jessica Ruth Knits D-Stash that she included because I bought too much yarn from her. Anyway. Alright. In my Little Fish Stitches Fantastic Beast / The Dark Lord bag is my husband Brian's sweater, which I have just left this front or back panel of his sweaters laying on the back of my chair. I don't know why, just cause. So let's see here. I'm making, and this one is another that has sat for a week, but 2 weeks ago I made a decent amount of progress. I made a good 6 inches of progress here, so I'm getting there. I need to get my butt busting on this one too. As soon as the stockings are done, I need to get back to this. So, because this is Brian's Christmas sweater, and so he kind of probably wants it to wear for Christmas. This is the Donegal sweater by Moira Engel, and the color and brand of yarn I'm using is Malabrigo Rios in the Cereza colorway. And there's my adorable little hamburger stitch marker, Progress Keeper, that I got from Sugar Tots, I believe it was. And, yeah. So, halfway through front panel, then I got to do sleeves. I think I'm going to try to do the sleeves 2 at a time, because repeating on sleeves. Yeah. Today's episode, by the way, is going to be pretty dang long. Since it's been 3 weeks, I have a lot to talk about. And since I'm so very busy right now with all this Christmas knitting. Okay. moving on, moving on. All right. So, 1, 2, 3. Next. The next 4 works in progress are not for me. So, I'm working on 6 items for 7 items right now, and 2 are for me. So, for being a selfish knitter, that's pretty dang good. You know what? Do I have lipstick on my teeth? Nope. I always get a little paranoid that I have lipstick on my teeth. Okay, so another one that's been sitting up here for a while and has not seen a lot of work. Well, it's been sitting... Okay, so Brian's sweater, my sweater, and Jamie's socks, which are living in my Fates Thread Cyberman bag. Yes. All right. Brain work. Okay. So, sock 1 is done. Where's the... Oh, hang on. Bought these large sock blockers a while back for this purpose. I should use them. Ho, ho, ho. See if I can do this. Oh, come on. Make it easier to see this. Obviously, I still need to weave in all these ends. But, there you go. Ooh, stop wrinkling there. Alright. So, this is my son James's Christmas sock. So, sock 1 is done. I have a hoe. And then, to avoid second sock syndrome, I have a mustache toe. So, yeah, I started the second sock, and this is as far as I've gotten. But, at least it started. So, this yarn that I am using, believe the brand is Penguin Soup, which is, this is a yarn I got from Jessica Ruth Knits D-Stash. Specifically because I thought Jamie would like it. So, Mr. Bigfoot here will enjoy these, I think. And the heel cuff toe are done in Cascade, I think. Which it was left over from the very first pair of socks I made for myself, which I have showed in the past, I believe, at some point. But anyway, Fish Lips Kiss Heel. I only did a 10 row cuff on his sock because I was getting bored with knitting giant socks. So, like, you only get 10 rows, dude. So, there's that. Jamie's sock. Throwing the sock blocker around. Is in progress. I need to get going on that. Carry places with me again. That's that. Okay, now on to Brian and his socks. His socks are living in my Today's Good Mood is sponsored by Coffee Bag by the Knitting Broomstick, Jilly. And his socks are coming along. I feel like I finally made some progress on these things. I brought these to Thanksgiving dinner at my brother's house. And I was about there at Thanksgiving dinner. And obviously, I was there a few weeks ago. So I've got the heels in. Now I just need to finish the legs. 2 at a time, socks. Blah! And this is my Harry Potter Wizard snack box by Lindsay of Simply Serving. And I'm dropping the bag on the floor. Okay, so socks being made from Jorstad Creek for the stripy color, and for the heels and toes, it's a mystery sock yarn from my stash. And it's a very, I can tell it's very hard wearing type yarn. It it's very strong. I have no idea what brand or where I got it from or anything like that. I just like the color works with these, so that's what you get. So, and this is obviously just a vanilla sock, so knit on size 1, and these are for Brian, whose feet are about half an inch shorter than Jamie's. Yeah, my 14-year-old has bigger feet than my husband. So, okay, 2 more to go, guys, 2 more to go. And they're both socks. Craziness. I need more coffee. I know I don't normally drink stuff on the podcast, but I had enough coffee in the coffee pot, so I'm like, cup number 3 of the day. So, and I will have to tell you, this bag is an acquisition, and let's see here, who is it by? 6 Munchkin Stitching. It's kind of hard to read the tag because it's folded in half, so I have to flip it back and forth while I'm reading it. So anyway, I ordered more yarn from Jessica Ruth Knits D-Stash on Instagram. So if you would all be so kind as to go buy some yarn from her so I would stop buying it, I would appreciate that. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I had bought so much yarn from her. But anyway, because I bought so much yarn from her, she gave me another project bag for free. She's so sweet. Anyway, so this is little gray foxes leaping around, exploring the forest with the lining is just black with little circles all over it. And this is what I find really cool, and I'm probably going to get a lot of use out of this bag, you guys. This is a 2 at a time sock bag. Have you ever seen one of these? I'm trying not to dump my stuff out. So you see right here is a yarn guide, which is just a little tab with a snap. And there's 2 sides, and each side has the little yarn guide. So your yarn stays in place. You've got the little zipper pouch for notions in between the 2 sections. So cool. So, this is a pair of speckled space socks, which is another free pattern on Ravelry. And these are for my boss who has narrow feet. So, they seem really, really skinny to me. But according to her foot cutout, which is downstairs somewhere, this is what I should be doing for her. So, again, I always do the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. Toe up, obviously. I just gotta finish the leg on these, and that will be a Christmas give down. The yarn I'm using for the toe and heel and possibly the cuff, I haven't decided yet, is Perfect Stitch Fiber Company, the Wheezing Wizard colorway, that came in with the Progress Keeper that was on Brian's sock, and a bag from Lynn of Sunshine and Bubblegum, a wizard bag. It was like a Harry Potter themed kit that I bought last fall, late summer, fall sometime. So this was just a little bit of leftover I had from my Hermione's Everyday Socks from a while back, and decided to use it with this blue variegated yarn that I also got from Jessica Ruth Knits D-Stash, which I believe, I think I actually have the tag in the bag. Is that shocking or what? Yes, I do. It's Hand Knit and Things, HKNT. And this is the John Henry base, which is 75-25 superwash merino nylon in the colorway Sea Spray. So, there you go. That's another pair of socks mostly done. And I just need to finish them off. I've had a lot of fun knitting this particular pair of socks, though, because I finally figured out, at least for small cables, how to cable without a cable needle. So this is coming along really fast because I don't have to cable. Like, I don't have to find a cable needle and hang on to it and then fiddle with it and then put it in my mouth until the next one in that row comes along, because that's what I usually do, put it in my mouth. So, yeah, that's that one. All right, last one. Oh my goodness. So, there's a little acquisition hanging out on this bag, which is one of my bags, by the way, in case you weren't aware. This bag was a freebie, I believe, when I ordered a bunch of the new Felici from Knit Picks, which I'm not going to show you guys because I have too much other acquisitions. Anyway. And guess what, guys? The yarn I'm knitting with is from Jessica Ruth Knits D-Stash page on Instagram. Oh, man, you guys. But you guys have seen this one. It's not like it's a new one. So, I have another hoe. Although, again, ends aren't woven in or anything. And I was doing a little yarn management to keep my rows consistent, because I'm doing this little slip stitch thing on them. So you'll see one side looks a little lumpy. That's just something I need to go weave in some ends on the inside. Obviously on the outside too. But this was the end of what I did was I cast on the toe, because this is a set from Lollipop Yarns, and it came with this little contrast skein and this stripy skein, and this stuff is super soft and plump. I love it. But anyway, and eventually I will get a pair of socks out of this too, but these are obviously for someone small, aka my son Connor. And he does not know about these ones. I've managed to hide this set from him. So anyway, I cast on for him 8 stitches. 8. And I go up to 24 per needle. So it's a 48 stitch sock on size 1 needles. And this is self-striping. But I was just doing a little slip stitch between each color change. And then it worked out really well for the red stripe, that second red stripe, to be worked in with the heel. So, and he doesn't like his socks very tall, so I just did 1 repeat of the green and 10 rows of ribbing in the red. So I just thought it was cute. I have 1 sock done, and this sock took 2 to 3 hour sessions. So super easy, super fast. And then I have cast on for the second sock. And again, all I have is a little bit of a toe, but second sock syndrome averted because I have started it. And this little delightful thing here is another Simply Serving. Let me see if I can get a little closer to the camera, and then maybe you'll be able to see it. Alright, so there you go. Goodness, my camera doesn't like to focus. Focus! Anyway, you get the gist. It's adorable. I love it. Little hot cocoa mug with marshmallows in it, and holly on the side of the cup and on the saucer. So adorable. So that's an acquisition. I just got that. And another one. Where's the other one? I think the other one's in this bag. Put it in this bag. I'm not using the other one quite yet. Dig around. Yes. Okay, the other one, which I need to find, maybe I should put this on my stocking. Although my stocking will be done so fast, you probably won't even see it on there. Is this little teddy bear cupcake. It's so cute. Yeah. Look at that. Anyway. He's adorable. Her work is amazing. I mean, these are so incredibly detailed and they're so small. It's like ridiculous. I'm like, I'd go cross-eyed making these things. I'm sure I could make them, but I would go cross-eyed making them, and I don't want to do that. So I will leave that up to people who like to do that. So that is all. That is all the whips. And I'm 45 minutes into my episode. Sorry, pulling hairs off my chest here. Not chest hairs, head hairs. Oh my gosh. Ah. Okay. Well, like I said, I have lots and lots of acquisitions. I thought about... Sorry, I'm going to adjust. I like to sit on my legs a little bit here. Let me show you some fun stuff first. This was... You guys are going to laugh at me. A few weeks ago, I was at Marshall's, which, as you know, is kind of a home and clothing store, if you have ever been to one. And, it made me laugh, so I had to get it. It's a rainbow unicorn tape dispenser. It's ridiculous. And there's an extra roll of rainbow tape. So, if you find rainbow tape on something you may have ordered from me or something like that, that's why, because I had to have a unicorn tape dispenser. I'm silly. And then I was at Joann Fabrics a while ago now, well over a week ago. And I was going through their Christmas section, and well, a couple ornaments made their way home with me, because who wouldn't want a fuzzy little sheep ornament? Especially when you're a knitter. Well, so this fuzzy little sheep needs to go on my tree, which is now set up downstairs. That's one. And then there's this one. Because it does. Totally does. Although I'm thinking of sending this one, as much as I like it, I bought it, I intended to keep it for myself. This might be going in my wool swap package for December. So, because why not? I could always go back and buy another one for myself, right? Maybe. Anyway, so, Christmas ornaments. It's not like I need another Christmas ornament on my tree anyway. And then, speaking of Christmas ornaments, I kind of have this problem where I go buy Christmas ornaments, and then my kids complain because, Mom, I can't find room on the tree for all the Christmas ornaments. So, anyway. I'm like, well, then buy your own tree and put all your ornaments on that tree, because they each have their own ornament collection. Because every single year I buy them an ornament, and they usually make an ornament or two themselves and things like that. So, this last ornament is from the sister of a family friend of mine, and they had these two sisters had a booth at the craft fair that you saw, if you follow me on Instagram, me walking around the craft fair knitting on Jamie's socks. And people were shocked that I can walk and knit. But a lot of how I knit is by feel rather than by looking, so it's not that hard for me. But I know it is unfathomable to some people. So, but anyway, this craft fair that I went to at our local fairgrounds, it's pretty big. They have the arena completely filled with booths. They have this big, like, I don't know what you call it, area filled with booths. It's like the big room next to the arena, and then another smaller room in the same building as the arena and the other room. It's like this huge craft fair. I would say there's probably minimum of 100 vendors, and this is small town, so it's kind of crazy to have such a big craft fair. But anyway, so this family friend sister, and they had a booth, and they do glasswork, and I had to get this because Christmas ornament plus sheep. Yeah. So I paid $12 for this little cutie, and he's going to go on my tree and be all sheepy there. along with this sheepy. And maybe it happens. They might all need to like live together on my tree. And this is a stitch marker or a progress keeper that I made for myself. And you're probably going to laugh at it a little bit, but I kind of like it at the same time. So, I went to Walmart the other day because Walmart is basically the only store in town besides Safeway. Or, if you don't want groceries, Ross and Marshall's. Not a whole lot to choose from around here. But anyway, so I was at Walmart and I decided to randomly wander through their jewelry section. I do not normally buy my jewelry from Walmart because my skin cannot handle the cheapo stuff that's there. So, but I like to look every now and then. And I was looking just 'cause. And not thinking of buying any jewelry in the fact, that I would actually wear it. But more along the lines of what I decided to do with this piece. And so I found this really kind of cute necklace. But the chain was like really terrible. And so I was like, I could make this into a progress keeper. So that's what I did. It's those, it's not real stone. It's plastic. It's this gold stuff is not, I love those. Oh, I think I hear my son coming in the house. He has had an early release day today. Yep, there he is. So, it's just a little fake stone. So it's really, really, really lightweight, which will be great for the knitting. Necklace. It was a necklace. Now it's a progress keeper because I got rid of the chain and used the lobster claw to make the progress keeper. And then my next not quite yarny acquisition is, and I've worn these quite a bit, so you'll have to ignore the dirt on them because these are my favorite kind of shoes in the first place. I should go count how many pairs I have. I've got at least a dozen, I would say, pairs of Converse shoes. But I wanted the clear ones because, yeah, see all that dirt. Because now that I am a sock knitter, I need clear shoes to show off my socks. So I finally got a pair. Yeah. All right. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean for those to hit the tripod. All right, now I'm going to show you guys something. My acquisitions basket. Somebody tie my hands or something. So I'm like, where am I going to put all this? I don't have room for it at this point. So, but I know, okay, I'm going to scoot up on the edge of my chair because that's just a little more comfortable right now. Coffee. Okay, so I'm going to start with some items I got. Not all at the same time, but these were all from Jessica Ruth Knits D-Stash. Which means I did not pay full price for these. So I don't have any idea because I've never bought Jinx yarn other places. I don't know what she charges for, but this is self-striping Christmas yarn and I got it for $20 total. That includes shipping. So, good price. So, if you haven't already, go check out her D-Stash page because she's got a lot of sock weight yarn and some like worsted and DK. Not a whole lot of those, but some. So, this is Jinx Yarns self-striping Christmas yarn. And I've always wanted to try Jinx Yarns. I've just never been able to get my hands on it anywhere until I saw it on her D-Stash page and I'm like, sold. ASAP. I'm like, when you see things though on her D-Stash page, you have to make up your mind right then and there. Otherwise, it could be gone within minutes sometimes. And this is one of those that I know if I hadn't said sold right away, then it would have been gone within a few minutes probably. But this is her strong sock base, and the colorway is called Christmas Lights. So, and it's 80% superwash and 20% nylon. So that is one of that set. And then this is Freckled Whimsy. And this is another self-striping. I've been very into the self-striping lately. And this is called Jiggle Juice. And it's on her sprinkle base, which is 75-25 superwash merino nylon. And then this one, I just thought this was just silly and fun. And this is called 3-Ring Circus Stripe Sock Yarn. And it's 75-25. So, and I've never heard of this brand or this dyer before, but I love the colors. So, yeah. And then you guys saw this one on Instagram if you follow me there, but I love this one. I love this one. Okay, so this was apparently from her Valentine's 2017 series. The colorway is called Alonzi. And if you do not know, this is a Doctor Who reference. And this is, by the way, if you can't see the label well enough, it's Valkyrie Fibers. And this is so perfect for the 10th Doctor. It's like absolutely perfect. And I can't say he's my favorite Doctor, because I really like Matt Smith, but I really like... Who was 9? Christopher Eccleston? Anyway, I really like all 3 of them. I'm still not sold on... What's his face? Can't remember his name right now. But anyway, I'll stop talking about Doctor Who now because you all are probably... My phone just decided to stop recording because I was boring it to death with Doctor Who talk. Okay, anyway, so there was that one. Lovely, delightful Doctor Who. There we go. And then I've been wanting to do a pair of Harry Potter house socks because I don't know if I've mentioned this before on this podcast, but I am a Ravenclaw according to the test. So I went searching for some yarn that worked as Ravenclaw striping yarn. And when I was at Vogue Knitting Live, I saw at the Biscotte, I don't know. It's like I keep wanting to call it Biscotti. The Biscotte booth that was there. They are a booth that had Biscotte yarn. There was a skein that I wanted to get, but I ended up deciding not to at that point. And even though it was not officially a Ravenclaw colorway, or even anything Harry Potter related, it looks like the Ravenclaw colors from the book, which are bronze and blue. This one has like a little bit of goldish colors thrown in. So this colorway is Plume de Paillon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I try, but I believe that's French. And it's related to the peacock feather somehow. This doesn't look very peacocky to me. It looks more Ravenclaw to me. So anyway, I'm going to have stripy socks out of this. And since I was ordering from them, I was browsing through their listings online. And they had like this, what they call a grab bag, I think. Let me look at... Oops. Sorry. Lots of clutter going on over there. Oh, it's called Josie's Surprise Bag of yarn. So, it's a surprise bag. You get minimum of 200 grams for the same price as one regular skein of yarn. So it's mill ends and stuff like that. So I decided, what the heck? I will get some self-striping, maybe, or some other stuff, whatever it is they throw in there. And I'm really amazed at what they gave me. And so for the price of one skein of sock yarn, these 4 are what I got. And it's amazing. This one is at least 50 grams by itself. And I know I can get a full pair of socks out of this. And I love this colorway. I don't know what it is, but I love it. It's from Biscotte Yarns. And then this one, I would say this one or this one are, well, really they feel like they're about the same as far as weight goes. I haven't weighed them yet, but, and then this one is the smallest. But I can use this for heels, toes, and cuffs. Or, I mean, like these two together, that would make a fun pair of socks. Seriously. And this would make a great pair of socks for Connor. Maybe Jamie. I don't know. But, you know, I figured I'm to the point where I'm knitting socks for other people and I don't care what yarn comes in because it'll work for somebody. So that's why I decided to go with these. And so I'm really pleased with the amount of yarn that I got from the grab bag. So for the price of one skein, I got like 4 socks worth almost. three and a half pairs of socks at least. And then Instagram, being the yarn enabling place that it is for me, one of the people or dyers that I follow on Instagram is Evil Little Goat Yarns. Yes, you heard that right. Evil Little Goat Yarns. I don't know if you guys have heard of this dyer, but she, whoever it is, has some really cute stuff. And they posted a picture a few weeks ago. And I was like, oh crap, I have to buy it now. Because this picture was of, and besides the fact that it was pretty yarn, it's called 1979. That is mine and my husband's year of birth. How could I say no to that? So, Evil Little Goat Yarn. So that's the little tag. And then this yarn, it's just pretty. I don't know what's so 1979 about it, but I like it and it's great. So there's the 1979 right there. And this is the Shimmy Goat, which is 80% merino, 20% nylon. So this most likely will become a pair of socks. And oh, I love this little spot of like dusky purple. So pretty. And this mustardy yellow thrown in there. It's just good. I love hand-dyed yarn. And when I put in my order, they threw in a pin for me. And then my friend Jen, she got me. I could not resist this one. This is Porcelain Tree. And it's one of her Christmas colorways. She's got some really sweet, subtle Christmas colorways. And she threw in a little mini, that's why I tucked it inside the label there. But she redesigned her label, these cute little girl sheep with the sideway eyes. And I decided to try, this is my first ever 80-10-10, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. Cashmere. You guys, it's so soft. Oh my gosh. Like, I nearly wound this up yesterday and started a pair of socks for myself. I have this design going in my head that I need to get out of my head and into sock form. And at that point I may write a pattern. Who knows? But This very nearly made it onto the needles yesterday. But I'm like, no, I need to show it on the podcast first. I don't know why, because you're seeing like way too much yarn as it is. And I'm not done yet. But this is the last of my purchased yarn. And then I'm like, I need to stop for a while because there needs to be some money for Christmas. Paid my bills yesterday. We're good, but there needs to be some money for Christmas. So, Nomadic Yarns was having a ready to ship update a while back. And so I decided to get, I think this is called Creature Feature. I think this might be a Halloween colorway, but I thought this would be a fun one for one of the guys. So ready to ship. And on top of that, with this one, I had a $10 Etsy gift card. I don't know why. It was randomly emailed to me by Etsy. I don't know. It was some sort of promotion kind of thing. Anyway, so they sent three different $5 gift cards over a period of time, and I let the first one lapse. I'm like, oh crap, can't do that. So the second two got used towards this. So this was basically $10 off for me. So I got a good price on it. So Nomadic Yarns in the Creature Feature colorway, and this is on her twisty sock base, and which is 80% merino, 20% nylon. And yeah, I just thought it was fun. And it's in skein, but you can tell it's self-striping because you just can. And then I was browsing through, a couple days later, I bought these completely separately. I wish I would have waited and bought them together or something, but I was browsing through her shop, and there was this one, which is oops, it came off the ribbon, Electric Revolution. And this is the 75-25 Superwash Merino Nylon. And it's just this super bright, fun stripes with black and gray and neon yellow and orange and blue. Thought this would be a good one for also one of the guys. I can't really see myself wearing a pair of socks out of this, but I like the idea of making stripy socks for the guys. So yeah, I got that for them. And the reason I got this one is because it was on clearance, because apparently there's one knot somewhere in the skein, and I'm like, one knot I can deal with, just one, it'll be all right. And none of my guys care if their socks match anyway, so it's all right. So I got it for like $5 off the regular price or something like that. Anyway, I got a deal on it. And then if you've been on Instagram recently, you will have seen the hashtag Get Your Yarn Wish Granted. I granted a good handful of wishes. I think I granted 8 or 10. And I did get, actually, a couple people more have said that they were going to grant my wishes, but I haven't seen them. I don't know. But anyway, I got 3 of mine granted. And one was just from one of them was just send me any I can't talk. Send me any skein of indie dyed yarn. Sock yarn preferably. And so somebody sent me this Mad Color Fiber Arts, which is this neon yellow and like periwinkle blue with a little bit of white thrown in there, natural base. So that'll make a fun pair of socks for me or somebody else. I don't know yet, but just like bright color. I love it. So there was that one. And then one of my more specific wishes was for a skein of Desert Vista Dye Works, and somebody came through for me on that one. So I got this skein, and I really like this. And oh, excuse me, it's called From Here to Eternity. And it's on their 75-25 Superwash Merino base, and I'm excited to try this. And this might have to become a pair of socks for Jamie or Connor or both, because Connor has little feet and Jamie has giant feet. Because the Aberdeen School District colors are blue and gold. Like, is that not perfect for Aberdeen socks? Not that most of you are from Aberdeen, but who cares? I am. And then somebody else, I asked for some minis for my sock blanket, or for my Cozy Memories blanket. So, I got a little handful of minis in the mail the other day. There's this fun, like, taupey, sparkly with bright pops of color. And then there's this gray, sparkly with little blips of blue and purple. And then this teal and this pinky purpley creamy. So, going into my sock blanket. So, thank you, random people from the internet. So that is all my acquisitions. Can you believe it, you guys? Okay, that's not all, but I'm not showing you the influx of... oh my gosh. The Felici. It's just Felici. It was on sale. So, I only paid like a couple bucks a ball for that. So, anyway. Yeah. I love coffee. I've kind of discovered, though, that coffee does not necessarily affect me the way you would expect coffee to affect people, in that keeping me awake kind of way. It's more of a... I drink it because I actually like how it tastes. It does not necessarily wake me up. It does not keep me awake at night. I could drink a cup of coffee an hour before going to bed and I'd be fine. I don't know why. And life stuff. Thanksgiving happened. We went to my brother's house up north of here in Puyallup. And every now and then I hear people try to say Puyallup if they're not from around here. It's ridiculous. They call it Puyallup. I'm going to type it out and put it on the screen right there, so you can see how it's spelled if you're not from around here. And then you'll understand why I'm laughing. It's pronounced Puyallup. Anyway, so we went to my brother's house, had a delicious turkey. He makes turkey in his Big Green Egg, which is a smoker contraption. And we had lots of yummy food. I made crescent rolls. We do it potluck style, so everybody does something. So, that was a great time. And then traffic was not bad driving from Aberdeen to Puyallup and back again. And we went to my in-laws' house in the evening and got to see my husband's grandparents who live over in Eastern Washington. They had come over to his parents' house for Thanksgiving, along with his uncles. And I brought home from Thanksgiving dinner at my brother's, my two nephews and my son James stayed up at my brother's house to spend some time with his cousin Faith. And then, let's see here. So, Turkey Day was good. Had lots of good family time. We almost never see Brian's grandparents, since they do live over in Eastern Washington. And they're getting up there in age. They're still very active for people closing in on their 90s, if they're not already there. Excuse me. So, yeah, it was really great to see them and his uncles who live with the grandparents, take care of them there. They never got married, so they have always lived with their parents. And then, let's see here. Black Friday, did not do crazy shopping on Black Friday. Because, well, I had my nephews, and so we stayed home all morning. Around 11:30 we left, and me and the nephews, and drove up to Olympia and met my sister-in-law with Jamie and my mom and my younger sister and my aunt and a family friend and my sister-in-law's mother. Just a big group of us. We all met for lunch and then went and did a small amount of shopping, like literally 2 stores, maybe 2 or 3 stores. I think for me it was 3 stores, and the rest of them it was like 1 or 2. So, and the first store that we all went to was JCPenney, specifically because there were certain things on sale there that people wanted, and me included, because I was buying my grandmother-in-law her Christmas gift so that I could send it home with her so that I didn't have to ship it over to Eastern Washington. Because on my husband's side of the family, we draw names for Christmas gifts and for the adults, for the nieces, or all the nieces and nephews. Let me put it this way. All the nephews. We don't do that. We just buy everybody, buy all the kids a gift. So, and there's not a huge amount of them, so it's not too difficult for us. But, anyway, I'm rambling. But that's okay, because this is rambly time. So, there. Anyway, so I was buying Brian's grandma her Christmas gift because I had drawn her name. And, I had got her last year or two, and she really liked the gift I got her last year, which was some fleece tops from JCPenney. And I wanted to see if they had, I'm sorry, my nose is really itchy right now. I wanted to see if they had something similar this year, because I got them on Black Friday last year, and it was a good deal. They did not have quite the same deal, but I found something kind of similar, and within my price range, so I got her a couple tops from JCPenney. And while I was waiting in line at JCPenney to buy those tops, I happened to glance over to the men's clothing section, which is where I was standing in line, and I saw the Mean Girls of the Mean Girls Knit podcast, Rebecca and Stephanie, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I had been watching their pictures on Instagram earlier in the day, and they have this tradition of dressing up in ridiculous outfits on Black Friday and shopping the entire day. And the reason for the ridiculous outfits is to deliberately embarrass their mother. And they must have embarrassed her because she was nowhere around. Rebecca had put on her lipstick and well outside her lip line, and was wearing a ridiculous cat t-shirt, and her sister Stephanie had total mom jeans going on, and I think she was wearing a turtleneck under a cat t-shirt and wearing a fanny pack. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious. I think I thought they were crazy, but no, I just think they're funny. Anyway, so I went over there and said hello, introduced myself in person. I've talked to them a little bit on Instagram, but said hello because Stephanie is from the Olympia area and Rebecca is Bremerton, I think. But anyway, so I got to meet them and say hello in person, and yeah, it was good to, meet a fellow podcaster / nitty person / weirdo / socially awkward. Anyway, it was fun. And we were chatting, and every few seconds I'm like, where's the line at? Because my sister and sister-in-law held my spot in line for me. Or no, my aunt. My sister and my aunt held my spot in line for me because they were buying stuff too. So they just held on to my stuff, and I was kept watching their progress while I was chatting to the ladies, and eventually I'm like, well, it was great to meet you, but I gotta go pay for my stuff, so, because, I felt like the line was never gonna move, and then as soon as I find somebody to talk to, of course the line moves. Anyway, so, it was short, but it was nice to meet them. And then, And then Saturday morning, or actually Friday night, Lacey of the Knitted Cupcake podcast messaged me and she's like, I'm in town for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, yay! And she's like, you want to meet for coffee? And I'm like, yes! So, she and I met for coffee really early. Well, not really early, but, 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning is early. So, we met for coffee, at a local coffee shop that makes the best coffee in the world. Tinderbox Coffee Roasters. If you're ever in Aberdeen, check it out. Anyway, she and I met for coffee, and we only had about 45 minutes between her alarm not going off and my need to be places, leave by 9:30 or 9:15-ish, because I had to go be crafty elsewhere. We had a craft thing going on at my church where I was one of the we call it a Pinteresting craft day. And we've been doing this every year for about 4 years now. 4 or 5 years. But anyway, there's a bunch of different crafts people can do in preparation for Christmas, whether they want to give them as gifts or just make them for themselves. But anyway, so I had to leave for that. So we had, between her running late for her, because her alarm didn't go off, so she didn't get there till about 8:30, I think it was. So I sat there knitting by myself in the coffee shop for a little while, but it was all right. And then, so she shows up around 8:30, and seriously, neither one of us stopped talking for the entire time. It was like, yay, somebody nitty to talk to. So we talked for, 45 minutes, barely managed to drink our coffee. I think I had 2/3 of a coffee cup full when I left. And it was a to-go cup, thankfully, so I just took it with me. But it was good to talk to her and hang out. And it turns out, I did not realize this, but she mentioned it like as we're leaving. She's like talking about this new yarn shop in Walla Walla. I'm like, wait, what? Walla Walla? She's like, yeah, I live about, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes or so from there. I'm like, what? I wish I had known this because my sister lives in Walla Walla. So next time I go visit my sister in Walla Walla, I will let her know, and we will be getting together and probably visiting that yarn shop. So, anyway, that was fun. And then crafty day was fun with the ladies at my church, and yeah, and I could go on and on talking about my life, but you'd probably be bored. But anyway, that's all the really nitty related stuff. And yeah. Is there anything else I really feel like I need to tell you? Oh yeah, if you're watching this, let's see, what's today? Today's the 28th. You have 2 more days after today, which hopefully this will go up tonight, so it'll be more like 1 more day after today. Shop news. I still have my sale going, my Black Friday sale. I decided to hold it through the end of the month, so through November 30th, you get free shipping plus 20% off everything in my shop. And the free shipping is for the United States. If you are outside the United States, talk to me. I can at least knock off part of the shipping for you during this time. I probably should have said that sooner. It did not occur to me, though. So, anyway. So, my shop is Creations by Guppy on Etsy. And yeah, I've had a few sales this week, which is good. I don't push my shop nearly as much as I should if I were to try to make a good amount of money from it, but I feel like I'm doing okay with it. I've made enough money this year to seriously offset the amount of yarn I've been buying. So it works out. Yeah. Anyway. So I guess that is all that I have to talk about today. Well, not all. If you are a praying person, my dad starts his cancer treatments today, and I would appreciate any prayers that you would put his way. He has colon cancer, And I think he's at like around stage 2, I think is what, I may not be right about that, but I think that's what it is. So today is like get settled in and get scans done kind of day. And then he'll have treatments the rest of the week. And he has to stay up in Seattle for his treatments. So, yeah. So there's that. And then next week on Tuesday, I probably will not be podcasting because I will be going for my doctor appointment up in Seattle with the MS specialist. So, yeah. There ain't gonna be time next Tuesday. My day is full. Oh my gosh. Because I have to go with Brian. He has a follow-up appointment with an ENT because he's been having some trouble with his vocal cords. And then we have my appointment in Seattle. And then we have to race home as soon as that's done because Jamie has a band concert that night. I'm like, gonna be a long day. And yeah. Alrighty. Am I done yet? I think I'm done. Alright, well, it's been great chatting with you for an hour and a half. I better get to editing this and hopefully get it up before the end of the day. So I hope you have a very nitty couple of weeks, and I will talk to you all sometime in December. Merry Christmas! Happy knitting! I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.